Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to the tactical preview slash breakdown of Cardiff City in their upcoming match versus my team, Chelsea FC. So this is going to be a bit of a different one. I'm going to do a little bit more different things in the preview, but let's get it started. So now how do they set up? They set up typically in something we call a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-3-3 defensive style formation there. So typically Sol Bamba is playing either as a defensive midfielder or a sweeper for the two other center backs, while the wingers tend to drop deep and will flood forward on counter-attacking opportunities. So as you can see here, this is what I was talking about when they're defending. And their usual formation they play is usually something around a 4-1-4-1, and as you can see, their pressure works. Now, how do they usually defend when they're not in a low block, when they're just waiting for pressure to come? That is a 4-4-2. It's quite useful because you're leaving the opposition to be forced to deal with two blocks of four versus the potential of a 4-1-4-1, where there are more spaces, more bounce passes can be played to break the opposition lines. And as you can see here, showing you an image of this, how it actually works. As you can see though, you see the red line connecting two forwards. Obviously it's cut out back here, but as you can see, it's clear 4-4-2. There's no doubt about it. They're staying in a pretty consistent line, and their goal is pretty simple. Block the middle passes and force them to spread it wide. Now, how do they deal with high pressure? Well, simple. They use their low block, a 5-4-1 ultra defensive style formation. It's simply put meant to be a brick wall of sorts, with Ethbridge in there to bail out any individual mistakes. They are a nightmare to break down, and the pressing of Reed, Hoylett, and Menendez-Lang is actually coming to be very much feared, as they have great stamina all through the matches. So as you can see there, obviously the pressure forcing them out wide and reducing the immediate threat on their goal is really something that is a strength of theirs. So I've talked about defensive features of Cardiff. Now, how do they attack? What makes them good enough to even get into the Premier League? It's simple. It's how they flood men forward. They play a 4-2-4 when they are attacking. They're surprisingly offensive for a purported low block team, in all honesty. And it's quite clear that they have a lot of attacking intent. Obviously, Chelsea, do you really expect that with the style we play? Probably not. But at the same time, how they react to most teams' threats is quite a brave style of attacking play. And you can't see it in the back. Obviously, the defenders are pushed up minimum to the halfway line, and will typically bomb forward even more to provide quite necessary support for those attacking functions. Now, why is a 4-2-4 useful for attacking? It's simple. If you have two men put on the back post, you force the outside center back and the fullback to pull over to the side, which then leads the other center forward to have space to either go make a near post run in between the center back and the right back, or will have the space to make a diagonal run in between the two center backs, which will be obviously an fairly easy header if the cross is accurate there. So now, how do you break down Cardiff from a Chelsea perspective? What do you need to do? It's pretty simple, and I will explain it in 3 key steps. Number 1, in the defensive zone, you have to have a Jorginho-esque figure to drop in between the center backs, or fairly close to the center backs, and simply be able to receive the ball and make a one quick touch pass. The way that way to beat them is extremely reliant on that function to get out of the early path, or else Cardiff's rather effective pressing style will lead to many a turnover by opposition teams. So the second step, the midfield. How do you break their defensive blocks and leave them in disarray for a potential offensive attack? Firstly, your CDM's got to drop in between those two lines of the space. The winger has got to drop deep to receive the ball potentially, and the striker has to peel away from the center backs. While getting away from goal, this will simply disrupt the center backs and also provide more passing lanes for potential bounce passes, which will eventually lead to, obviously, center backs being pulled out and teams getting out of position. Now, what's the final step? How do you finish it and create that lethal offensive chance? It's simple. That defensive midfielder that likely dropped back within the play has to burst down the space, while the outside winger needs to make a inside run in between the fullback and center back, so an out in run, while the outside winger, who's away from the play, needs to tuck deep to provide a necessary switch option in the case of a successful press, while the attacking midfielder can take advantage of the space generated in between the two center backs. The one center back in the Cardiff man marking system will need to pull out and leave gaps in between that a pacey attacking midfielder, someone who's comfortable in the ball, can easily exploit in the play. So to end off, who is the dangerous player for Cardiff City? Now, it's between two players, Bobby Reid and Victor Camarasa. Bobby Reid played a fairly decent, important role in their push to the Premier League, but the most important player has to be Victor Camarasa, the man coming from on loan from Real Betis, a near Champions League finishers in La Liga. He offers quite a amount of dynamism in the midfield, and simply put, neutralizing his presence is one of the keys to suffocating the midfield and playing the way Chelsea want to. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this, and I will be back in the future. Bye.